Welcome, everyone, to our show, Two Women Rising Out of the Chrysalis, where we share life experience, stories for inspiration as a way to help you to have breakthroughs in your life. And I'm Marisa.
And I'm Rita. Nice to see you, everybody. Please put thumbs up for us. I hope today we will hear very amazing, beautiful story from Andrea.
Yes,
right?
Today we have beautiful Andrea as our guest today, and she has a wonderful story to share with us. So Andrea, tell us a little bit about your journey and what you went through in your life that, led you in a way where now you're kind of helping others as well.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you so much for having me here. So I guess my story begins when I was 16 years old. I was 16 and I, got pregnant. And that pregnancy actually really, because I got pregnant and I had, a daughter now, it inspired me to become a better version. I realized that in order to be a good parent, there was some stuff that I was going to have to deal with. So when I got pregnant, I, did what I thought was right. I finished school. As soon as I did, I was back, into college. I was working at the same time as I was going to college. I went through my first degree. I graduated. And then once I graduated, it wasn't enough for me. So I was back in college and for a second degree. And halfway through that second degree, I started to have, because throughout this time that I'm living my regular day-to-day life, I'm also having, spiritual awakenings is what I would call them, right? Where I start questioning everything I thought I knew and everything that was taught to me. And at the same time that I'm going through life, I'm, having these awakenings and these realizations. And so halfway through my second degree, I actually dropped out. And at the time, I was super scared to do it, right? The biggest thing for me was I was going to disappoint my parents. But I did it because I had gotten to the point where I was so miserable going into class that it felt as if my soul couldn't bear it anymore. I was in a place that just I didn't resonate with, but I was trying to force it, right? It's like trying to fit a triangle or a circle into a triangle, or I don't know what the
right.
what analogy is, but it was just like I was trying to force something that wasn't for me. And it took me that pain to realize that it just wasn't for me. So throughout all these years, I have this dream, which began around the time that I was 16 as well, of being an entrepreneur. But at the time, I was 16, I couldn't even drive a car. But I had this dream that, what if I could be an entrepreneur? What would that be like? And through all these years in this, journey I was on, I held on to that dream. And, even in my darkest times, which, being a 17-year-old new mom, doing it all alone and trying to do the right thing was so, at the time was so overwhelming. And at certain times, it was just a lot for me. But, I kind of carried that load and just kept on going. And I would say about, 5 or so years ago is when I really, after I dropped out of, college, was when I really had this massive, awakening that completely changed who I was. And as I was going through this journey, I realized that I wanted to find my passion and I wanted to find who I was in this world. And I never knew what that was until COVID. When COVID hit, I was, I know mental health affected so many people during that time. And I was one of those people, I couldn't work. And that was so scary. How am I, at the time I'm thinking how am I going to, I actually had to let go of my apartment because I was, living on my own at that time and go back to my parents, because how can you how can you go making, $5,000 to $7,000 a month to not making anything? Because my job, I was an independent contractor. My job was completely shut down. And that's really when I realized I was building my castle, because I had a beautiful apartment. I had my life together. My daughter was doing great. I was so independent and self-sufficient. But then I realized I'm building my castle, my castles on sand. And then that's when I really started to really pursue the idea of being an entrepreneur, because if the government can just, pull a rug from up under your legs like that, I just don't want to be a part of that system. I do not want to be in that position again. And so, throughout this time, all these years, like I said, I'm going through my own healing, right? I've healed with different modalities. And during COVID, I felt so stuck, so powerless. So I didn't know like who I wanted to be. I didn't know which direction I wanted my life to, to go. And one day, like a lightning bolt, do you ever get that, an idea where he just strikes you and you even get excited and you're like, you kind of feel this curiosity? Well, it was kind of one of those ideas. And it just struck me like a lightning bolt to look up, hypnotherapists for entrepreneurs. And I'm going through, the Google page. I find the last one on that first page, and I, book a call with her, and I'm explaining to her, all these things I'm going through, depression, like procrastination, heavy procrastination, right? I felt so stuck, like I felt so limited, everything shut down. And I realized that, she explained it to me what the work was about. And through the work, through, doing this hypnotherapy, I was healed and released from so much heaviness and so much baggage and so much pain. And, after I went through the hypnotherapy, on the other side, I was like, wow, like I saw such value in it. Like this will change people's lives. Like this is your last resort. When you can't go to the doctor for your depression, for your anxiety, for your procrastination, for limiting beliefs, this is who you go to. You go to a hypnotherapist. And it was just like such an amazing thing I found. And then once I learned about it and the fact that, you can make your own schedule and you're like, you're working for yourself and you have so much freedom and you have such a beautiful purpose, which is to help people overcome, trauma and limiting beliefs and bad habits. I just realized it was perfect. It was everything that for all those years I was looking for, but I didn't know. But to me, honestly, it just felt like this, beautiful gift that just like God or this higher power gave to me and was like, this is the perfect career for you. And it aligned with, it aligned with a lot of my beliefs, right?
It aligned with you, who you are as, your soul purpose.
Yeah. And it just aligned so perfectly. And now this is like, wow, I just really feel like this is worthy of pursuing. This is worthy of building. This is worthy of growing. And that's where I'm at now. And
that is wonderful. That's kind of like how I landed and became a hypnotherapist. And Rita too, as well.
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
It's after my mom died. That's why I'm like, it's the same thing. I was in a scent thinking, I need something. And then I just found this and I love that. And I just continue. So with hypnosis, you never stop learning. I know this is for sure. We just have to. So may I ask you, like when you tell this old story, right, about how you come to this, to be entrepreneur and to be a hypnotherapist, I can feel like you have, like you want to cry or something. Is that true?
Lately, actually, I've been having, when you go in entrepreneurship, right, it's all about, you have ups and you have downs. And actually this past week has been a really rough one. So I don't know if maybe that's kind of coming through because, I think
I can feel even your, how I would say that. I feel like you want to cry, but you said to yourself, I'm strong. I will not cry.
And you are strong, and she's a very strong. Well, I want to congratulate you for actually being a strong mom. Being a mom at 16 is not, an easy thing to
But it's
overcome.
So beautiful though, right?
It's a beautiful story that you're able to even reach this point. I mean, for you to like maintain a strong, mindset to, what, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do what I have to support my daughter and raise her. And, that in itself comes with a lot of obstacles, right? I'm assuming you were all alone on this journey with your daughter at 16? Now, can I ask
I will
you?
say, my parents were, they did help, but I never became, dependent on them. So I really feel like I really did take responsibility, and I think that's why I learned so much and grew so much from it.
And you
That's
grow
good, though.
fast, you become an adult really fast.
Oh, yeah.
When you go through those experiences, it's like you have no choice than to just grow up and be an adult all of a sudden and have all these responsibilities. And that could be overwhelming,
Oh,
at that
absolutely.
age, if you're not prepared. So, so your parents were supportive? Were they there for you, or how did you get through that with your parents?
So with my parents, for example, when she was a newborn, when she was a newborn up until like 6, 7 months, I actually didn't get like any help as far as like nighttime or getting sleep or anything like that. Like I really was there through the nights and every night, But once I started, once after I finished, high school, once I started college, I actually went to college during the nighttime, which was from like 7 p.m. to like 10 p.m. or I think it was 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So then that way I would go to, school with, well, my daughter was awake for a few hours, but then, she would go to sleep. So she wasn't without me for too long, which, I'm very grateful for. So that's when, they would, watch her. Or when I worked weekends, I went to school during the, the week and then worked, Saturday, Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They would watch her, because it was part-time. They would watch her the, 5-6 hours I was at work. So yeah, they were, my guardian angels.
Oh, that's wonderful, because not a lot of teens have that support, when they go through this journey. So that the fact that you had your parents there to help you out, it's a big deal, right? It's a big
Yes.
help to be there. And I have to say, I myself had to work full time and go to college in the evenings and support myself. So I know how hard that is. So I could only imagine being a mom at that age and doing that. It's very difficult. So go ahead, Rita.
I can just proud of my age right now. I just want to say, 9 months I watch grandkids, which is one is 3.5, another almost like a baby growing, and 1 year old right now, I think, right? 1 year and a couple months. But I did babysitting, I did my study, I work nighttime, and honestly, I don't sleep much, but I even go and have a fun. I have time, like it's not so horrible though. But when you have them 24 hours, it's like it's too much. So when that 6 months, I can feel you, because when I have my son, I was home. I don't take a study. I don't work. I don't do anything. I just chill, clean up the house, keep feeding him, change the clothes. That's it. This is what I did. And there is no way I even think about in my age right now. I will take a study like constantly, like I would say 24 hours. It doesn't matter. My baby here, I'm hearing something, listening. So,
but here you are, like at an older age, doing it, like taking care of 2 kids, studying and working. Yeah.
She's grew up so quick. I'm talking about Andrea. She's grew up so quick. I'm like, yeah, what I was when I was 16. What I did.
Well, you weren't ready for that type of experience. So
I used to live in Uzbekistan. Our parents just push us to get married, and we have to make a babies when we're young. I gave birth when I was 19. So, but I'm nothing like smart than like you. You just wanna do all this stuff, and your angels come to you and teach you everything else. I am
to
proud
give you
of
the
you.
strength to, yeah, I mean, you should be very proud of you, and your story is definitely going to be inspiring to others that are going through the same thing, and they probably think, well, I can't make it, or there's no way I can do it. Well, you can. It's all about everybody can do it. You can get through these difficult times. It's about the strength that you have to get out of your core, right? And say, you know, I have to do this, and you can do it. You can get out there and fulfill a dream. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy starting a business. It's not easy, you know, if you're a single parent and you're trying to do this, because you're probably the only one that has to provide for them. Been there. I know how difficult it is. But it's, you know, the strength, you have to pull it out of your core. Like, they're the reason. It's the children, right? They're the reason why you wake up every morning.
Motivators.
They're motivators. Yes.
Absolutely. She was like, you know, during those times where I was like working, so when you're in college, you're putting in a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice without any reward at all.
Yeah.
You know, hoping you get a reward at the end, but you're doing it without a reward. And during those really dark times, I would just think of my daughter, and at the time she was 1, 2, 3 years old, and it was just like a light a firecracker under my ass, honestly. And so she was just like my, you know, the way I really feel about it is that she was the pressure and the intense heat that really created a diamond out of me. I really feel like having her so young just put me on this like exponential growth you know, cycle where it's like everything's just like super fast paced, and now I'm like 25 and I feel like, you know, a 40-year-old woman inside. So I've gained so much experience and so much wisdom that I feel like definitely I feel a lot older than I am.
But you know what?
What will make you feel
temporary.
young? Okay, what will make you feel young again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now that I've, you know, went through all that hardship, and now I'm at a time in my life where I actually get to enjoy so many things, and I actually get to, my life's so different now compared to how it was, you know, 5 years ago.
That's good.
So different. So yeah, very grateful.
And it's going to be so different 10 years from now too. You know, it's going to change.
You know what I remember now? I was 20, right? When I said to myself, I probably have to make some money. It's like, it's
when you were
aha moment. I have to do it. And
you're just a few years, you know, behind us, but it's okay. We're
no, when I was 20 years old, so, and I keep saying to myself, I have to make money. I have to make money. And then it's just like, okay, go try to make a chocolate and try to sell it. I start to make a chocolate. It never happens that I produce any chocolate, but I try myself, and I did this. And then I started to sell clothes. My neighbor, actually, she said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. Why? I said, I don't know. She said, come on. She's older than me. She said, take your son, take all this is big, huge, and it's like big, huge bag of clothes. Let's go sell this. And we have to go from one office to another office, offer all this as clothes to people. So when we come back home, kids already in our house, they're just sleeping because there is no car. We don't have car. We don't have cell phone. We have to use bus and transfer, like we have to use transfer with like everybody else on top of each other. So we have to bring the kids an arm, the whole, this is big, huge box in here. We're like, you know, like you feel that you are 40 years old and you're 20 or whatever. We're like this too, you know. It's like, what are we doing to ourselves? But at the end of the day, when she shared money with me, I'm like, is that all mine? She said, yeah, because you deserve this, because you earned this, because you helped me. And I'm like, wow. And it's lots of money I made one day. And I said, I want to do more. And it just, again, money motivate me to move forward, to make more too. Because when I see that it's working, you can, with this money, you can help more people. It's not just because it's good for you or you do something like, you know, you can do fun things too, but with this money, you can help to another people who could make money. Mm-hmm. So I help to people too. Like if I have friends, I would send them money too. When my parents are alive, I will just send them money too. And I think it's a great thing to do. Some like the good things for yourself. And if you know, like you can make it, share with somebody else too. So I think it's a great thing to be an entrepreneur.
Of course. And now that, being a hypnotherapist, you're not only changing, people's lives and bringing them, this freedom into their own lives, right?
Yeah.
It trickles down to even their families. So that's our experience too when we work with clients. It's, they get healed, but they also heal their own families because now they become a different version of themselves. And when they go back home, it affects everybody around them.
My family is not healing yet. I have son. I'm not healing yet with my son. So we have to heal my son.
Well, yeah, you just got to give it time. I'm sure, everybody, here's the thing. The person, you can't change other people.
I know.
They have to be willing to change themselves.
I know. It's just broken my heart. That's it. It just broke my heart. So I still have to be strong for my grandkids, for myself, and for my business. And I always pray. And I really want, like, he will wake up one day just like you, Andrea, and do something like, reunited.
Amazing.
Reunited.
If I just share something that you might want to look into, which I have found very helpful.
Sure, that's why we are here. Yeah.
So are you familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza by any chance?
No, not me.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's a neuroscientist, and he has helped, so many people around the world to create these miracles in their lives, all kinds, from health to career to relationships, all kinds. And I remember the story of this gentleman who had a son who was, dealing with drug addiction at the time. And he actually was practicing Dr. Joe Dispenza's methods, and, helping his son come back home and,
to the family,
prove himself and heal. And he was starting to see, he was beginning to see like signs that his faith was working. And I think it would be something that, is definitely worth checking out. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has a YouTube, he has a website. And, I actually did his meditations when I was extremely depressed. Sorry. So I definitely recommend it, check him out.
He does have wonderful meditations. He has,
do you want I say to you something? I, just like you, right? Try to do something. I have the whole wall downstairs where I work. It's all with certificate, all of it. And I can say to my son, thank you very much. Just for that wall, it's thanks to my son. It's because I desperately want to help. He don't want this as help. And this is,
he was the motivation for you to go and seek.
And I would say that he helped me to go and do all my study, and I can help to another people because I still try to looking who I am, what I am, how I can represent myself. I go through my stuff too, but in the same time, I want to help to him, but he don't want my help. But I did all this time. I learned everything just because I want to help. And now I realize that I have all of this as certificate, right? I just can heal more people. And it's not only about my one son, it's about everybody. So that's why we're here today, because all of us want to help to people.
Absolutely, yes.
And I will check up anyway. I will check this guy. I don't know. You just give it to me. Who is this?
I'll give it to you, Rita.
Yeah, please do, because I need to write this down. I will never spell this right. So.
Well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much, Andrea, for sharing your beautiful story. And we'll have your link below our video and where you can reach Andrea. And thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you on the next episode, which we'll probably talk about fear again on the next show. So from Marisa and
from Rita
and Andrea, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye,
Bunch of
everybody.
love, everyone.
Bye.